Hey everybody, I want to talk to you a little bit about your research paper. This is a sample of a APA research paper. There are some parts of the research paper I'm not going to ask you to do, but there are some that I am. So hopefully this will give you the opportunity to really understand um, what parts you need to do, what parts you don't need to do. I'm going to upload this and a couple of other examples of APA research papers for you so that it will help you. There's also a format for research paper that I found from an alternative school that has a really great way of explaining things to you as well, so you have multiple resources for this paper. Remember that this research paper counts as your 6 or 9 weeks test grade and as your semester test grade. There are a couple other several other grades along the way as we go. So please be sure, two or three peer review grades, a test grade for your annotated bibliography or for your annotations on your note cards. So you still have several grades left to go the next couple of weeks. So be sure that you and you want to be sure that you do well on it. So the first thing it's going to show you is the title page. You should have a title page that is separate. You should have a shortened version of the title of your paper plus page numbers in the header. This paper won't have footers. See, it gives you directions. Place the manuscript page header in on 1/2 inch from the top. Put 5 spaces between the page number and the header, which would be your shortened, your abbreviated or your shortened title for the paper. It tells you how to do your title page, where you're going to have the title. You're going to have your name. You're going to have the school that you come from. You're going to have that information on there on your title page. Then the one thing you guys, I'm not going to make you do the abstract, or I'm not going to make you do the abstract. The abstract is not really relevant to you guys. Well, it actually is, but I'm not going to make you do it this time. We may do one later on where I have you do an abstract. An abstract is sort of like an abbreviated, so you're going to write 6 pages. You would basically write me one paragraph that summarized the entire paper. And so if you read through this, like it says, the abstract summarizes the problems, the participants, your hypothesis, and your research and your conclusion. All that summarized in about a paragraph. So we're not going to do the abstract this time. I want you to start your essay after that. So at this point, like I said, you're going to put you're going to center the title 1 inch from the top of the paper. The paper is going to be double spaced. It's going to be in 12-point font. I would prefer you use Times New Roman, but if you want to use another type of text, that's fine. Don't use permanent marker, but you can use any other form is fine. Just be sure that it's consistent throughout the paper. Most college papers and most English teachers would want Times New Roman or Arial at least. Just be sure it's legible and that you can tell what's going on. You're going to have your introduction after that, or that will include your thesis. Then you're going to start inputting your research in to support your thesis. So remember, a thesis is the main idea or the problem or what you're researching. It puts that in an actual paragraph form. So if you're discussing, maybe you're discussing the growth of, if you're doing Wonder and you're discussing the growth of Augie and Vi throughout the book, then related to Erickson's theory or related to Bandura's theory, then you're going to talk a little bit about that. You're going to give me a little bit of information about Bandura's theory. You're going to give me a little bit of information, just a basic little bit of information about the growth of the family or lack of growth of the family. And then you're going to go in and support that theory, you're going to support that through your research. You're going to give me excerpts from the book that support that, and then you're going to give me research material that talks about how maybe with Erikson's theory, how he went from the trust to mistrust stage, how he learned to improve those skills when he went to school, and give some examples of how he improved that, and then give me some information about what that particular theory or what that trust versus mistrust stage is and why it was delayed for him to get there due to the fact of how his family concept was. That's an example. If you're doing breaking the chains, then, and you may have chosen to discuss the 5 major changes of mental health care in the 20th century. You may be discussing the changes in mental health care in mental facilities since the 1900s. As you discuss that, you're going to pull information. Basically, there's going to be a little bit of information for you to show me from the book about how Dorothea Dix made improvements on mental health care. And then you're going to continue on telling me improvements and changes and things that still need to change and still need to improve related to mental health. But you're going to do that in your research paper. Remember that the little text boxes on the left are great places for it to help you understand how that paper needs to be. It even goes on through, we're not going to do method because specifically we're doing just kind of an essay research. We're not really doing a research essay. You have not done extensive research in this manner for like a lab report. And at a high school level, when we do methods and all of that kind of stuff, that relates more, and your results, that relates more to a lab paper. But I want you to do that first part. Then remember that when you get to the conclusion, you're going to give me a good conclusion that summarizes your information. So basically, you're writing that abstract there. Your reference page, it gives you very important information about how that reference page should be. It should be in APA format. It should be, references should be centered. They should be in alphabetical order. I should have all the information that I need. Capitalization, punctuation, they should be free from grammar errors. That's why we do that continued peer review, so that you can improve that paper with each peer review. On your first draft, and I'm going to pull up real quick. Let's shrink that down. I don't think you can see me today on this. I'm having some camera issues, I think. I want to show you this, and I will attach it as well. It is Anaheim Union High School, their high school district. They have put this great student's guide out for a research paper. And so it gives you some really good, like the pre-writing process, how you analyze the writing, analyzing, focusing on your topic, knowing your purpose, gathering your information, and then developing your thesis. How do you develop it? It gives you some really great aspects. Now, know that for some of you, you're going to be doing compare and contrast. Some of you are going to be doing some expository writing. Some of you are going to be doing problem and solution or persuasive writing. But pick your topic here and pick the way that your paper is, and then utilize this to help you. It gives you information on research, on how to do your drafting, to begin your rough draft of your research paper, and it tells you what it needs to be included in there, about revising and editing, and publishing means turning it into me. That's what publishing, or not turning it into me, sorry, turning it into your proctor. Understanding that this talks about MLA, but you guys would be doing APA format. And it gives you a sample of what things are supposed to look like. Like there's your title page for APA, pretty much. But anyway, like I said, it's going to give you an idea. It's going to give you a good basis to help you work through that paper as well. So just know that you have multiple resources. Now, you guys have to use your resources. This is not a way that I'm going to hold your hand and spoon feed you, because this is your research. This is your paper, and it's your grade in the end, the effort that you put into it. It is going to take you some time outside of class. So I suggest that you print your articles. When you do your scholarly research and you found your 5 or 6 or however many sources you need them, print them so that you have them to make your note cards if you're gone to an event. There's travel to and from events. Some of you are going to be in a basketball tournament. I've got students in the same basketball tournament during our peer review time. Guess what, guys? there's more than one of you that are at the basketball tournament. Peer review each other's paper. There are so many ways to not get behind on this assignment. You just have to utilize the tools that you have. My students are gonna my in-class students have to do the same thing. I'm not giving them a day to make up their peer review on Friday, even though they're at a tournament. They're just gonna have to print their paper and print the form, and they're gonna have to do it handwritten while they're traveling between games, whatever's going on. They got to do it. So just stay up on this. You don't want to get behind on this assignment, or it will snowball on you. So just utilize your resources, guys, and I will be posting a couple of different pieces that are sample papers along with the web address for this particular, or I'll also be posting this particular tool that will help you with the writing assignment as well. So if you guys have questions, please let me know. Otherwise, you guys have a great day and be working diligently, okay? All right, thanks everyone. Have a good day.